holding on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me.
After a complete slugfest last week in New Hampshire, we come to the Midwest and Kansas Speedway for the penultimate round of the AARL Truckers Feed America Cup Series, brought to you by Muffler Man. This is the Muffler Man 200. Tony Trapasso and Damon Lester up in the booth with you tonight for this one. And Damon, I'd love me some Kansas in the Cup cars.
Yeah, I do too, Tony. I love this track, especially like they've got conditions tonight. It's going to be hot and slick. They're going to be rim riding, and it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. As we take a quick look at the weather conditions, 76-degree ambient air temperature, 60% relative humidity under partly cloudy skies, only 2-mile-an-hour wind out of the northwest. Not a big deal right now, but that track temperature up in the triple digits, 108 currently at the start of qualifying, has me slightly concerned.
Yeah, we've already seen in practice tonight as we came on a little early to sort of get a feel of the land that we've got Peter Terrio spinning off of turn 2 in qualifying with several cars loose off of 2 and 4, pancaking either the outside or the inside wall. It's going to be you're going to have an eggshell under that pedal tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are just waiting for qualifying to come to an end here, as we got a few drivers out on track right now. The hillbilly himself, Dave Hara, with a good head of steam down the American Ethanol back straightaway in that blue-gray Chevy Camaro. Decent head of steam for him. It's currently Lilith Peters sitting atop the pile. Adam Egerstein, David Lorfano, your top 3 currently. Take a quick mention of the point standings coming into tonight. Cam Harris currently sitting atop the pile. He's only got 9 markers to the clear, though, over David Hara. So still a very tight points battle. As a matter of fact, top 6 only separated by 1 race.
Yeah, it's, last week was, didn't have a lot of cars. We had some people who didn't show up last week. So some of those guys are back, and that really tossed up the standings a little bit. So going to make these last few races pretty interesting. So, I'm really curious to see how these things pan out. And this is our next to last race, as you said, the penultimate. So getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, absolutely. As Cam Harris has been sitting on pit road. Now, for those of you who missed last week's Wednesday night race, Cam Harris went for one hell of a ride in the series that we broadcast on Wednesday night. Actually got scored with the first 10 of the season from the Romanian judge doing a barrel roll pirouette.
Yeah, it was pretty wild there. It was in the first 20 or 30 laps of the race, and we had sort of a major pileup coming out of 2. And he barrel rolled and pinwheeled and spun on his nose, and as we know, came back with a great finish.
Justin Horton right now out on track. The only car laying down time currently is he loses it going into 1. So 1 and done for Horton. As there is Cam Harris just sitting on the end of pit road, waiting to see if he can get a little cloud cover. As Theriault did not get a clean lap in, so no time for the 26. Nate Christian, no time for him yet. And no time for Cam Harris yet, as Cam has been sitting on the, like I said, on the end of pit road for the last minute and a half, just waiting, just monitoring that weather, seeing if he can get any cooler track conditions before he fires it off for 1. But he's going to have to be careful because there it is. There's the checker for qualifying. So, as the drivers start to grid up, let's take a quick look at the starting grid tonight. Starting up on the point for Domination Motorsports is going to be the 16 of Lilith Peters. She's going to be joined with Pat McQuaid in the 77. Row number 2 sees Christian Delgado in the 5 and Jim Hubble in the 51. Scott Leonard and Adam Angerstein going to roll off in row number 3. David Lorfano and Dave Hara make up row number 4, both for Hillbilly Motorsports. Justin Horton for Cyber Thunder League and Jeremy Flanagan for I'm Not Gaishakat. Am I saying that right?
I'm not sure.
Anyways, Horton and Flanagan making up row number 5, with row 6 going to Cole Martin and Johnny May. Damon?
Yeah, starting 13th tonight, Charlie Dickey in the number 37. 14th will be Larry Garnes in the number 20 Chevrolet. And one of the lone Fords in the field, Tyrone Yo, will start 15th in the number 2. Robbie Fletcher in the number 71 will start 16th. And not putting down any times tonight, either with incidents on the track or just not getting on the track. We have Cam Harris in the 27 starting 17th. Peter Terrio starting 18th in the number 26 Chevy. And Nathan Christensen in the 09 starting 19th.
So 19 cars scheduled to roll off here tonight. 6 total sets of tires to get them through. And 1 fast repair on a 70% fuel fill. So pit window probably about 30-ish laps. 30, maybe 40.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I think it was another league that we do. They were running about the same, and I think Christian Delgado's ready to go. He's pushing Lilith Peters off the line here. I think it was about 35 to 40 laps, give or take, on a 70-75% fuel tank. So
Sounds about
we'll have
right.
to see. We'll have to see what these guys, what kind of mileage they get tonight, and the only way we find out is throw that green rag and let them go.
Absolutely, as we are about to find out, as the field works its way down the American Ethanol back straightaway behind the pace car. Will Peters going to have the button. Pat McQuaid needing a good points night tonight. As, again, top 6 in points separated by less than 40 points. As the field works its way into the 3-4 complex, Peters going to have the button. Well, the only thing that's about left to say before we go green is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some popcorn because it's time to get it on in Kansas. Race fans, it's show time.
Green.
Lilith Peters brings the field down really slow. It's going to give Patrick McQuaid a chance to get a jump there on the outside. That outside line was not really buttoned up or close together. Here comes Patrick McQuaid. He's going to get a good momentum shot down that backstretch.
Well, there was almost problems right around where Scott Leonard is. They really stacked up that outside lane. As McQuaid getting a good run on Peters coming through the front chute. Still some side-by-side racing back around 7. There they are right now as that's Leonard and Horton going hammer and tongs at it. Dave Hara just sitting back there just minding his own business. You can see some damage on the front of Hara's car already. So there was an issue on the start as we got one spinning out towards the infield, it looked like. Everybody gets it collected back up, though. I believe that was Charlie Dickey who got shot out.
Yeah, he got a little loose coming off 2 down. That was one of our... There's Jim Hubble getting loose off turn 4. Turn 4 and turn 2 were our action areas during practice. So we'll have to see if these guys get a little bit of temperature in the tires and see what we can do here. But I believe David Harrell was caught up. As you mentioned, he's got some damage there on the nose. I think he was caught up in that checkup on the outside line.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a wow in the 14's back bumper as that's the Scott Leonard hits the wall. Meanwhile, at the front of this piece, Lilith Peters is starting to stretch a gap on Pat McQuaid. McQuaid, though, has a bigger gap over Christian Delgado, who currently runs in 3rd. The field's starting to get a little bit strung out here.
Ooh,
Closest
Johnny
battle.
May, yeah, he's going to wreck. He's in the backstretch wall.
Boy, let's go take a look what happened with May.
Still going to stay green.
Well, let's take a look here. Running the high line coming off a 2. That started with a 69. Actually, that was May. I apologize. So let me click the right thing this time.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to comment, Tony, on how when we have Cameron Harris and Peter Terrio starting in the back. I was watching him taking cars 2 and 3 wide, trying to get to the front of this field. And the next thing I know, I see Johnny May get crossed up coming out of 2, and then back and forth trying to save it. And he ended up getting into the outside wall there.
Jeremy Flanagan almost catching a race car to the teeth, able to take evasive action, though, as we are now back live. Slugfest going on for 7th right now. Scott Leonard has it. Justin Horton wants it. Horton's got to be careful because that is Cole Martin and Peter Theriault right on him.
Here comes Peter. He's been coming through the back, going 2 and 3 wide, trying to get to the front.
Absolutely. Theriault already up 8 spots from where he started.
Cole Martin gets a little loose there going into 3.
A little bit of a wiggle there. Gets deflected back up. There is Theriault up 9, currently sitting in 9th. And then behind him, that is Cam Harris working the inside of Flanagan. Harris up 6 as well, so some big movement going on already. That is Cole Martin going to be the next victim to Cam Harris. As Theriault has gotten by Justin Horton. Pretty calm and collected so far. Not a lot of aggression being shown yet. We got a battle starting to heat up between Christian Delgado and David Lozano for 3rd. And right behind them, that is Angerstein and Hara going hammer and tongs. Angerstein on the top side gets by Hara.
Yeah, these guys are everywhere. I was just checking in the chat here, and as per usual, our Zorku supporters are out there. Jeremy Flanagan having a good run so far. He's, keeping the car clean. That's important in these races. Is keeping yourself clean for the first part of the race. It's a long race, 134 laps. It certainly is a long time here at Kansas. Even though it's half distance, it's still a long time, especially when the track is slick like it is tonight.
Yeah, very much so. And very easy to get it wrong here.
And yeah, somebody said that they need to change it in SDK, but it should be Dominion Motorsports for Jeremy Flanagan, I believe. And also,
yes.
Willie Peters and Peter Terrio are the same team.
Yes. And right now, Scott Leonard getting all he can handle from Pete Theriault right now. Is Theriault all over his back bumper as they haul it off into turn number 3. And the 14 into the wall for the second time tonight that we've seen.
And here's Peter Terrio. He's all over him now. Scott Leonard, quite a bit of damage on that driver or that passenger side. The right front's a little wrinkled up.
And that's definitely going to be hampering. And mind you, it's not a huge track. Helps if I turn the ticker on, doesn't it? It's not a huge track to be worried about aero, but every little bit helps, and the right side aero on that car, there is absolutely no side bite in the 14 as he has to chase it down the hill coming off the 4. That lets Theriault get the run. Here comes Harris as well.
Yeah, the 26 and the 27, they're on their way to the front, that's for sure. Those guys didn't get a qualifying lap in. Peter had some issues on track, and Cameron just said, I'm just going to save it for the race. And those guys are coming to the front at a very quick pace. So they're trying to get up there as far as they can before It's looking like we're going to get a green flag run, so there probably will be green flag pit stops. So they want to get as far up in the field as they can before those green flag pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody kind of just seeing what they have during this first tire run. Going to try to see what the tire wear looks like so they know what they've got to do. Now, the good news is they're laying 5 tonight, so it shouldn't be a big issue as far as tires go. As here comes Nate Christensen, up 7 already, working on the inside of Gorku.
A little different paint scheme on the 09 this week. Got the Costco colors for Nathan Christensen.
Absolutely.
And we've got Robbie Fletcher, who's been in a while. He'll have to take that car to pit road for some required repairs. It's Justin Horton on the outside of Nathan Christensen. Christensen brings it down low to block Charlie Dickey on coming down the front stretch. The majority of the side-by-side is back here in this hornet's nest around 10th, 11th, 12th place.
Absolutely. Oh, Zorku into the wall.
That hot track, I tell you.
It's got to be.
Telling you, man.
Let's take a quick look at tonight's weather currently. 105-degree track temperature. Man. That was at the start of the race, so that's never a good sign, especially when the track is difficult to get around as Kansas can be at times. You definitely don't want any more issues than you need, and hot track temperature is definitely an issue.
Absolutely.
So we were watching Charlie Dickey and Nate Christensen going at it. Dickey able to wrestle the spot away from Christensen. A little bit of action starting to heat up in front of them. As here comes the 9 of Angerstein all over the back bumper of Christian Delgado. Angerstein climbing back to the field. Started 5th, currently running in 5th. Dropped a couple spots at the initial start after that kind of melee that we saw. And looking
got into the 5 just a little bit there in the middle of 1 and 2. They were both able to come out of there without any major issue. But as you can see, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Tony. I was watching this. They were going down the front stretch, and you can watch Christian Delgado. He's trying to stay in the slipstream of that 8 car. Draft very much comes into play here at Kansas.
Absolutely is. There are problems for the 9. He is off pace right now as Dave Hara just blew by him like he was stopped.
Yeah, it's also a big momentum track, so that could have something to do with it as well.
Angerstein gets it sorted out, gets back on the trigger. As they are working by the very muted car of Robbie Fletcher. Now, I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, because I did not hear when the stage break was going to be tonight.
I don't think they do stages.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be why I don't know what it is. The problem with doing 8 broadcasts a week.
Hey, I understand, brother. I don't do 8, but I do a couple, and sometimes it's hard enough to keep those in.
Absolutely. But Dickey and Leonard going after each other right now as Dickey all over the 14. Goes to the low side. Leonard going to be able to keep the momentum up on the top side. But that is a very wounded 14. He's just praying for a caution that he's not the cause of right now so he can try to get that car fixed.
Here comes Charlie Dickey in that 37 G-Tech Cleaning Solutions Chevy. He's trying to make his way around the 14. As Scott Leonard once again gets a little twitchy, a little loose there off of 4. He's able to to still pull that position away and stay in front of Charlie Dickey.
Absolutely. We were talking about Hornets Nest earlier. Right behind them is one. That's Nate Christian in the 09, Cole Martin in the 45, and Justin Horton in the 39. As now Christensen and Martin start to pull a gap on Horton. As going to go back in front that is Dickey right alongside of Scott Leonard right now. And Leonard a little bit sideways coming through too. Hang on to her, son. Ooh.
Here we go across. Oh, Martin got a little piece of that. It looks like
he might have gotten just a slight piece of that.
Got a little wrinkle on the right front of his number 45 Chevy. It looks like so.
Yeah, it wasn't major contact, but it was enough to kind of put a crinkle in the hood.
As these iRacers like to say, that's probably a 2X.
Safe bet. As that is Scott Leonard now working on Tyrone Yo to try to wrestle a spot back away from the Ford driver.
You know, we don't talk about Tyrone a lot, but he really has had some consistent races here in the last couple of weeks. He just, you know, he keeps that number 2 Ford Mustang clean, and you know, the incidents he gets caught up in usually are not of his doing. You know, it's just usually don't have anywhere to go. But Tyrone has had a good year this year. Just getting some time under his belt, and that's what's important in these races, especially with this new car and coming to these tracks that they've never been to before. It's been a new animal for everybody, and every league on iRacing has been learning this new car. So,
yeah, I mean, it's the first time that, you know, in a stock car, we've had independent rear suspension. So that is a learning curve in itself, right there. You know, because one of the big changes you could make to really affect how the car turns in the center of the corner was you play with the track bar. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, there's no track bar on these independent rear suspensions, so that definitely throws a kink in everybody's plans on, you know, how they're gonna fix these cars and things like that. So it definitely is a game changer.
Well, it's also the first year of the fully composite body as well.
Absolutely.
I believe only the hood is steel.
No, the hood's not steel either. It's carbon fiber.
Well, there we go then. But right now we are watching, that's the 5 of Christian Delgado getting worked over by the 27 of Cam Harris. Harris throws it down low going into 3, side by side off of 4. Who's going to get the pull from the 8? Looks like advantage to Delgado, as Harris, not needing the draft, pulls alongside and pulls to the clear, coming through the middle of 1 and 2. Delgado battles back down the American Ethanol back straightaway, side by side into turn number 3. Something's got to give soon here. And there it is. Delgado gets a little bit wiggle going into 3. That's going to cost him, as here comes Harris on Lofano now.
Yeah, as they go side by side, it's one thing with Cameron Harrison I've noticed that he's making that car work down low. Everybody else is ripping the top. So maybe something that can be said there.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like going back to Michigan and Atlanta, where because you carry so much more momentum on that top side, it can tend to punish the right front more than running an air quote traditional line through the corners. But just as I say that, Harris goes up to the rim ride, and starts to pull a gap on Lorfano now as Delgado trying to reel in Lorfano. Hometown hero tonight, Christian Delgado, out of Abilene, Kansas.
It's neat when these guys get to race. You live down the road, you never think you get to drive there, but iRacing gives you the opportunity to drive on your local track. That's close to
Absolutely.
you. I know Joseph, my son, who's one of the other producers for ESBN SRM. He loves going to Bristol.
Who doesn't? That's a fun track.
Absolutely.
As Harris peels off to go pit side, there's the first one to Flint for new tires. Looks like 35 laps in. Green flag pit stops are definitely in the works. As we're going to check back here, that is 26, Ethereal working the inside of Angerstein in the 9. That is your battle for 7th as they go side by side down the American Ethanol back straightaway. Ethereal going to drop in behind the 9 to get the draft going into 3 now. Check back in with the race leader. There is Lilith Peters coming down the back straightaway. 4.5 seconds to the good over the 77 of Pat McQuaid. So almost the entirety of the green paint on the back straightaway wall is the gap right now for Peters over McQuaid. And then you're another 7.25 seconds back to this man who's in 3rd. That is Christian Delgado, your hometown hero tonight.
Yeah, as most of our viewers will know, it's not very often that somebody can put 4.5 seconds on Patrick McQuaid.
No, it's not. And, let's go on board for a full lap with Lilith Peters and see exactly what she's seeing.
Clean track is exactly what she's seeing.
True story. A little bit of a wiggle going into 1. Gets it collected back up very quickly. Looks like the tires are starting to go away on her as she's still extending that gap over McQuaid.
And she's starting to catch lap traffic as well.
Absolutely. And here we go. She's coming into pit.
And this is a track that's difficult to get on pit road. You have to really be careful, especially with that transition from forward down to the flat. That car will kick sideways on you and can really cause issues. Another thing, these you're going to want to pay attention. You got David Hare on pit road as well. Another thing, these guys and gals are, or the guys now, because Lilith's the only gal out there. They're going to have to watch because Lilith is, she's already fast. She gets fresh rubber. She's going to be even faster, and she's not going to come out. She's probably going to come out toward the tail end of the field, but she's probably still going to be pretty close to the top 15 or so.
4 in fuel, about as perfect a stop as you can get. 14.87 in the box. Delgado finally peeling off. McQuaid, Lorfano, Dickey, Angerstein, Theriault, Christensen, Garnes, Horton, and Flanagan all electing to stay out so far. Tyrone Yo stays out in the deuce as here comes McQuaid into pit. And looks like Hubble going to follow him. That hands the lead of the race over to that man in the 37. That is Charlie Dickey. Coming in tonight, 3rd in points. And we were talking about that earlier. And, Cam Harris coming in tonight with 21.03 for points. 9 markers back was Dave Hara in the 15. Charlie Dickey coming in tonight, only 12 markers back from Hara. So, as now Dickey comes into pit. Pat McQuaid was only 6 markers off of him. David Lorfano was another 5 back. And then Pete Theriault rounding out your top 6. 40 points out of the lead, but only 8 points off of Lorfano.
Looks like we've got some maybe some speeding penalties on pit road. I know Christian Delgado is being held for looks like a speeding penalty,
Uh,
and also looks like Adam Angerstein and Jeremy Flanagan have been nailed by the speeding police.
Harris got popped for it. Martin got popped for it. Delgado got popped for it. There goes Christensen handing the lead of the race over to the 20 of Larry Garnes. Effective race lead as Christensen and Yo both peel off to go pit side. Effective race lead is going to be that driver there, who is the 16 of Lilith Peters, your pole sitter, as Garnes is about 20 seconds up the road and still has to come down pit road, so no pressure right now for Peters, as she now has almost a 10-second gap back to Pat McQuaid.
Yeah, it's probably going to end up being more with the cars getting back up to speed because he wasn't fully up to speed yet after coming off pit road. So, yeah, she is laying a whooping on these boys this evening.
Yes, she is. Kind of like the Flying Monkeys of the Wicked Witch of the West.
Absolutely.
A little bit of trivia information for you. Chittenango, New York.
Bless you.
Thanks. There's a little town just outside of Syracuse, just a little bit east, called Chittenango. And that just happens to be the home of Ozfest. Because the author of the book grew up in Chittenango. Actually graduated from Chittenango Central Schools. So they celebrate the Wizard of Oz once a year.
Everybody will feel so much smarter now knowing that. I do.
They didn't warn you that I'm a bottomless pit of useless information when they talked you into joining me in the booth?
No, I think that's good. I love useless knowledge. Useless knowledge is very helpful when you're trying to hush up somebody on Facebook or social media.
Absolutely.
Throw a bunch of stuff at them and they have no clue what you're talking about. Usually they just leave you alone after that.
Or if you start spewing facts that they have to Google and they find out, holy crap, this guy knows what he's talking about, we should probably leave him alone.
Exactly.
Well, right now, Lilith Peters, 9.5 seconds to the good. There is Pat McQuaid all over, I believe that is the 14, yes it is, of Scott Leonard, first car being scored one or more laps down. McQuaid's picking him up and laying him down. He was 0.3 quicker than Peters on that last time by. Let's see what this lap looks like.
He lost a little bit that time.
Gave up 0.2 to her.
He was racing Scott Leonard side by side. That's
right.
Not going to help him any. But Lilith Peters has lapped up to the 9th place cars, so only 8 cars remain on the lead lap right now.
Absolutely is. I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah, that is Larry Garnes going into turn 1 right now. So the car directly in front of her is the 71 of Robbie Fletcher.
He's not far behind Larry Garnes, that's for sure.
Not by much. Rest of the field pretty strung out. The biggest battle right now is between the 45 and the 5. That is your battle for 14th, 1 lap down between Cole Martin in the 45 and the 5 of Christian Delgado. And you got to think, as long as those guys stayed out, that just hurt them immensely, considering that Peters was able to just start blistering laps. You know, we're talking about a 35-lap fuel window. You know, those new tires, about 2.5 seconds worth of fall off. as connection issues starting to rear their ugly head for Delgado. As he now works the inside of Martin. As the 45 brushes the wall in the middle of 1 and 2. And they are now coming up on Adam Angerstein, who did get popped for speeding on. And that cost him a minute and a half in his box.
Yeah, and Jeremy Flanagan as well was also busted for speeding. We have those two guys who are now 3 laps down because of those issues. I think it holds you for 40 seconds if I'm not wrong.
Well, it looks like they may have been popped for unsafe pit entry as well, being as they were both over a minute and a half in the box. Christian Delgado was a minute in his box, so, definitely hardcore speeding for the 5, which is very easy to do, as you mentioned, because you're having to chase the car as you come off the banking. Very easy to, kind of get disoriented as you're trying to chase that car and keep it under you.
Yeah, and I think what they may have done is they may have gone ahead and got some of their damage fixed while they were in there. I guess they may have figured,
Safe bet.
I'm already in here. I might as well get some of this fixed, and it'll help me as the race goes on. But we're already almost halfway through this thing. I mean, it's cool. We're cooking these laps off pretty quick tonight, Tony.
Absolutely. We were working lap 54 of 134 here for the Muffler Man 200, part of the AARL Trucker Street America Next Gen Series. Tony Trapasso and Damon Lester up in the booth with you tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up because it really helps share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to be shared on somebody's homepage of, hey, you might enjoy this when you log into YouTube. And if you haven't done so already, we are fast approaching 2,500 subscribers, as we do have a little bit of a contest going on for all of our viewers. Once we hit 2,500 subscribers, we're going to throw everybody's name into a hat, and you get to pick what paint scheme you want on what car, and it'll be given to the driver of your choice once we hit 2,500 subscribers. So any car, any paint scheme for the driver of your choice once we hit 2,500. We are fast approaching that, Damon.
That's amazing. And, we really have grown a lot. And, we've got a great group of guys and gals now that we call these races every week. So it's really important. Make sure you, like Tony said, make sure you subscribe. Click that little bell, the way you get notifications. You can adjust those notifications because that would be a lot of notifications because we have a lot of races throughout the week.
Yeah, but, absolutely. This is the second race of our triple header tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those of you who were around earlier, we're there for the Night Shift Racing League as they had their next round back at noon Eastern this past afternoon. And then tonight at 10:05, Dave Regal will be in the booth for the Western States Racing League, as I believe, let me double check my math here, but I believe it is the penultimate round for them as well. Bring my stats up. Yes. Phoenix tonight, and then next week off for the holiday, and we'll be back at Vegas for the season finale for them. As far as the AARL schedule goes, we are off next week for Memorial Day as well, and we will be back on June 7th for the season finale, the Higgins Performance 200 at Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix. I love Phoenix now that they've gotten everything updated on the service. Phoenix is a really, really fun track.
I was a little bit leery when I found out that they were redesigning the layout of the track. I have to say, I think the
Yellow flag is out.
uh-oh.
Oh, man, Peter Terrio, he got loose coming off of turn 4, tried to save it, but then came and got that front stretch wall. So he's got quite a bit of damage there on his number 26 Chevy. And like the race we had at Kansas in the Cup Series this year, it looks like he got stuck in the grass, but he was able to get her going again.
Bangs the wall, arrow push being a real thing coming off of 4. There you see him just doing some lawnscaping, and then there's pancakes the left side of the car. So that's going to be a necessity of a fast repair.
Yeah, he has the old meatball there, so he'll have to come in and get that 26 Chevy patched up. That's a good thing about having that fast repair in your pocket. At least good thing today we're almost halfway through, as we're only 7 laps shy of halfway here tonight.
Absolutely, and we're going to take this moment under caution, go side by side, and pay a couple of bills. We'll be back after this.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series. And we are back at Kansas for the Muffler Man 200, part of the All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Cup Series. Twitcher Paso, Damon Lester up in the booth with you tonight for the eSports Broadcasting Network. And Damon, we've seen quite a bit of action so far, but we've seen a dominating performance out of that young lady behind the wheel of the 16.
Yeah, it's certainly a dominating performance. As per usual, when she's leading a race, she doesn't like to give these guys any room to breathe. So we're going to bunch them back up a little bit. This is going to erase her 10-plus second lead. I want to say this, that during that caution, Patrick McQuaid did stay out to get a lap led, as you and I were discussing, and it's important to get that bonus point. So he wanted to make sure he got that. It's also that'll shuffle him up a little bit. He'll start back in the pack just a little bit, as it's showing Justin Horton in second now. Charlie Dickey will be third. Larry Garnes fourth, and Patrick McQuaid has fallen back to fifth, with Johnny May I'm sorry, David Orfano will be 6th. So it's shuffled. This caution sort of shuffled things up, but we're coming through 3 and 4 here. The lights right on top of that pace car, the Tesla pace car, as you like to call it, and we'll get things back underway here. As I'm sure when that pace car ducks off, Lilith is going to get gone quick.
Well, the pace car is off. She brings them into the restart zone, drops the hammer, and underway we back are.
Green flag.
As only 8 cars still on the lead lap. Peters, Horton, Dickey, Garnes, McQuaid, Lorfano, Hera, and Christensen. Cam Harris, the first car 1 or more laps down, sitting in 9th right now.
Yeah, we had a couple of guys who did take a wave around there because they'd just been on pit road. So Jeremy Flanagan got one of his laps back. He's now only 2 laps down, and I believe there was one other driver.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then Robbie Fletcher, I think, got another lap back as well. So Peter Terrio's going to spend some extended time getting his car damage fixed. He's on pit road. He'd already used his fast repair earlier in the race, I believe.
3 wide down the back straightaway. Charlie Dickey wisely jumping on the binders to get out of that situation. It's going to let Cam Harris get his lap back on the 37. Still has an uphill battle to try to reel in race leader Lilith Peters. And something just happened to Jim Hull. Let's take a look at what did happen here. Lost it, and how is that not a caution?
I think if these guys have they have a standing agreement. If they know that they can't get that car moving, they can get towed and get the car off the track. They just keep it green. So.
Yeah, but he was sideways with.
We got another. Justin Horton, off of 4, got into the wall. He was spinning. Collected David Orfano. A little bit. Caution will come out now.
All right, let's see what happened to the 39. Gets into Cam Harris. That car just snapped loose on him. Let's take a look at what the eye in the sky picked up on this one. Here's Horton in the 39 again. Green car on the top side. Just a little too much throttle coming off of 4. Goes through the grass, and that does bring out a caution.
He got into David
That's
Orfano.
what brought out the caution. He's trying to get back up to speed, and that car will not go straight.
Cautions breed cautions, Tony.
Unfortunately, you are right, sir.
Yep.
As we are now back live. There is the 37 of Charlie Dickey, who we were talking about, was in a 3-wide situation, jumped on the binders to not be in that situation. So heads up driving for him. Is David Lorfano going to bring the 8 down pit side, possibly to try to get some damage fixed on the right side of the 8 ball. But getting back to what we were talking about before the previous caution came out is about Phoenix International. I was a little bit concerned when I found out they were, going to re-engineer how that track was laid out, and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about moving the pit road to the middle of 1 and 2, or what used to be 1 and 2. But honestly, I think it works better over there. It's led to so much better racing, because the hallway was hard enough to get through when you had the start-finish line right there. Now, guys aren't trying to restart in the middle of turns in the middle of the 2 flat corners. You've got the straightaway to get everybody kind of little bit of separation there. So I'm thinking that, that was probably one of the better ideas that, NASCAR has had to just move the start-finish line. And we've seen some great finishes since they've done that.
Yeah, absolutely. And they did something similar to Darlington, back in the day. I
Yeah.
can't remember the actual year that they flip-flopped the track front stretch to back stretch, but
I say like 89?
yeah,
It
89,
was
90. It was,
late 80s, early 90s is when it happened.
yeah, it was still that way during the days of Thunder filming, because coming off of turn 4 is actually coming off of turn 2 now in real life. So
Yeah, that got filmed during the 90s season because it was the first year
yeah,
of the Lumina.
right. Yeah, looks like Peter Terrio's just gone ahead and the damage is too much, so it looks like he's going to be done for the night. Unfortunately, he was having a good run.
Both he and Jim Hubble electing to put it on the hauler. So of the 19 drivers that took the green, we have 17 still running, 9 of which are on the lead lap. Last car being scored as such is that car right there, the 39 of Justin Horton. Lights should be going out on the pace car this time by. And there they go, and here we go. Lilith Peters going to have the button one more time. Pat McQuaid going to be starting to her starboard side. Dave Harrow, Charlie Dickey, Larry Garnes, David Lorfano, Nate Christian, Justin Horton, Johnny May. The last cars being scored on the lead lap in 9th. Scott Leonard in the 14, first car one or more laps down, back in 10th. Working lap 72, going to restart for the start of 73. You are watching the All-American Racing League Muffler Man 200 at Kansas as part of the Truckers Feed America Cup Series. Tony Trapasso and Damon Lester up in the booth with you tonight for this one. Thank you so much for joining us in the live chat. Let us know who you're pulling for. We'll try to highlight your favorite driver throughout the night. And if you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up because it really helps share things with the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, absolutely. Here they come out of 3 and 4. The pace car is going to dive down, make that hard left turn onto pit road. Lilith Peters is bringing them down. And she gets a great restart as usual tonight. Trying to put some distance between herself and Patrick McQuaid in that Muffler Man Toyota Camry.
Yeah, absolutely. He's side by side right now with the hillbilly David Harrow. And Damon, I don't know if you got a chance to see the Sunday night race, but those two were just throwing haymakers at each other all night long in the trucks at Vegas on Saturday night.
No, I actually missed that one. I had to work on Saturday, so that's sort of, by the time I got off work on Saturday, it was time to not have another computer screen in front of my eyes for a while. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I heard there was some great racing in that race, and even though I probably won't stand a chance, I'm going to try to get in one of those here in the next couple of months.
Well, the June race is coming up. It's only a couple of weeks away. Have not received any details on that yet.
Yeah, where it's at depends on if Damon races or not.
Fair enough.
Damon has favorite tracks, and Damon has some that he just stays away from.
I've heard rumors that it'll be the Figure 8 at Irwindale.
It will not be Damon.
Where's your sense of adventure, man?
Oh, I lost it when I was 12.
Lilith Peters just reset the fastest lap of the race with 31:01. Flirting with that 30-second barrier. As Pat McQuaid holding on a strong second place.
Yeah, she's not getting away like she was earlier.
No, she wasn't. I just saw somebody puff some smoke. I didn't quite see who it was, though.
Yeah, I've noticed if the guys get just a little tail
Oh,
happy off.
baby.
Oh, there goes one.
That was Cole Martin doing a little landscaping on the front stretch.
A little agricultural racing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've noticed when they come off of 2 or 4, if they get a little tail happy, you'll see a little bit of, they'll haze the tires a little bit. You'll see a little bit of smoke.
Very easy to do here at Kansas.
Oh, absolutely.
As right now we are watching the battle for 6 between Nate Christian in the 09 and the 39 of Justin Horton. And that is the 20 of Larry Garnes, not that far behind them either. As looks like David Hara getting all he can handle right now from the 8 of David Lorfano. Lorfano brushes the wall going into 3.
Oh, it just narrows it up a little bit.
He just got that car fixed.
That's right. He's trying to narrow it up a little bit to make it faster.
No.
You know,
As he brushes the wall again.
They're only limited on what, this is a fixed setup, so they're only limited on what kind of adjustments they can make. So he's just,
Well, it's not like the old solid axle rear end where you could bang the wall and make a track bar adjustment on your own.
True. Don't have a track bar in these, so we can't do that.
Exactly.
Maybe he's wanting to skew it a little bit. Like they try to make him crab walk down the straightaways now. He's running that low line now, so I think he's tired of getting in the wall.
Safe bet. As the rest of the field pretty strung out. The closest battle is between Hara and Lorfano, as there's Hara on the top side, Lorfano on the bottom side. And Lorfano with a good head of steam right now, trying to keep that nose in clean air. And that's the one thing I've noticed is as soon as you get behind somebody, that front end will just walk on you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think David Lorfano figured that out, so he's trying to go where the 15 of Hara is not. And it's helping his car rotate a little bit better, it looks like, when he's hitting that low line in that 8 car.
Yeah, absolutely. As, Wise Man once told me that when the car pushes, that's when you hit the front end of the car into the wall. When it's loose, that's where you back the car into the wall. Horsepower determines how fast you hit the wall, and torque determines how far you take the wall with you once you hit it.
And in some cases in iRacing, you just get stuck in the wall.
You're not wrong. Although I do have to say, at least we haven't seen the breakdance happen in quite a while. As I remember, the open wheel cars used to have a tendency that when you got them, when you broke the physics engine with an Indy car, it would start to breakdance. And I'm not kidding. It would be like watching, when you and I were kids, guys on cardboard just doing weird things.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the movie, but when I was a kid, I loved the movie Breakin'.
Yep. And
Breakin'
Breakin'
1, Breakin'
2,
2, Electric Boogaloo. There we go.
It's good to see I'm not the only old fart with the broadcast company.
No.
But
No, I love me some old movies, and David Lorfano is catching the front of this field at a good clip.
He is.
He's catching Patrick McQuaid now. Then once he catches that 77, I'm sure he's going to set his eyes on that 16 of Lil Peters. He kept 3/10 off that lap.
Well, McQuaid just got into the wall going through 1 and 2.
He's still stuck to the wall. Here comes David Lorfano. He's going to get a run on Patrick McQuaid coming down the backstretch. He's going to take him on the inside. We'll have to see how much that affects the 77 of Patrick McQuaid.
It looks like he's got that car wound back up on the top side.
telling you, they made it narrower, like they used to tell Bill Elliott. Just go ahead and hit it and smack it on the wall and make it a little narrower. It'll be all right.
Yeah, didn't they tell Jimmy Johnson to do that one time and NASCAR fined him?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think they, I think Chad told him to tear it all to pieces.
Yeah, don't bring the car back in one piece.
Don't bring the car back in one piece. I think that was a Dover.
Yeah.
I think he actually went into the wall doing his burnout. So, yeah, I don't think the father of NASCAR liked that very much.
Do they ever?
No. Then there was this weekend. And that's all I'll say.
Yeah. Pretty much. McQuaid
Dave
and
Lorfano and
still
McQuaid side by side. Yeah. And they're still knocking time off of the leader.
Not really.
Well, David Lorfano is. Patrick McQuaid has slipped back to David Lorfano. So.
Right. As Peter's lead over these two guys is now 1.8, almost 1.9 seconds. And she's got to be looking in her rearview mirror right now going, yep, go ahead, guys. Just burn your stuff up.
Burn your stuff up racing each other. I'm going to just set sail.
Now it's time for good news, bad news. Bad news, you cannot make it from here. Good news, nobody can make it from here.
Yeah, we're going to have to go probably another 15, 20 laps, and then you'll probably start seeing some green flag stops.
Well, we know they can go 35.
Somebody else changes that for us. Yeah.
So I would expect to see a lot of guys coming down pit road. Now, Lorfano's in the best shape because he was last down pit road on lap 69. Everybody else on the lead lap was last down pit road on lap 61 or 62. So this is going to get interesting.
And the field's sort of jumbled up right now. So, I mean, Cameron Harris has passed the 15 of David Hare, and he's trying to catch these two in front of him, but he's a lap down in 10th place.
Yes, he is, and there is the 27 as he's gotten by Hera. Here comes Dickey on the backside of Hera as well. And you still see that front end damage on the 15 of Hera. He has not burned his fast repair yet.
I think he got a little bit of the damage fixed, but he's still trying to wait until the very last minute to get some of that fixed, I believe.
I dare say next time down pit road, he's going to have to. He doesn't have much of a choice left.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as Dickey finally wrestles the spot away from the Hillbilly. Meanwhile, Lilith Peters, 2 1/4 seconds to the good over Pat McQuaid, who started to pull a gap on David Lorfano. And I'm thinking Lorfano may have burned his tires off trying to race on the low side against McQuaid. Working lap 93 of 134 here tonight at Kansas. You're watching the All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Cup Series, the Muffler Man 200 at Kansas. Tony Trapasso, Damon Lester up in the booth with you for this one. Thank you so much for making us a part of your evening. If you haven't done so already, let us know who you're rooting for in the live chat. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps share things with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to show up on somebody's newsfeed of, hey, you might enjoy watching this. Will Peters 2.5 seconds to the good as we are keeping an eye on second place, Pat McQuaid. And you can see it basically the distance from the center of from the start finish line to the entry of 1 is the gap. And Cam Harris is really on a move right now, as something just happened with Johnny May. Oh, what happened there?
Well, it's like the 5 came down to sort of block a run, and Johnny May just reacted to it, got a little tail happy, and ended up into the outside wall.
He was flying till he caught the grass.
Yeah, and then the car got upset on him. But no caution. We're still green here at Kansas in the Muffler Man 200.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like May going to call it a night. As we are back live. And Charlie Dickey has reeled in David Lorfano with the help of Cam Harris.
Yeah, the draft still comes into play here at Kansas. The cars don't like it in the corners, but down the straightaway, you can get a tow off the guy in front of you. And I expect to see Dave Lorfano let these fast cars go on, especially 27 Cameron Harris, since he's not on the same lap.
Yeah, absolutely is. There's no sense using your stuff up, but he is probably going to try to defend against Charlie Dickey.
And there you see it. He lets Cam Harris by, then he gets back up and into his line.
Absolutely. It's Dickey with a run off of 2. Bangs the wall. Oh, not what he needed.
And it could have been the cars, the 27 stirring that air up, and then the 8 coming up could have really dirtied that air up and just caused the push there.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Jeremy Flanagan pit road.
Hera has gone pit side. And fuel. Looks like money stop time for Hera. And the question is, when is this young lady going to pit? Your race leader, Lilith Peters, who's just dominated this race tonight.
Yeah. What's the difference between Lilith Peters' car and everybody else's car on the track tonight?
The loose nut behind the wheel.
Well, I was going to say the passenger side is clean as a whistle.
That too. As we are watching Nate Christian work on the backside of Justin Horton right now, this is your battle for 6th. And that is David Hera on the fresh shoes right behind them. And you can see just what the difference is. Old tires on the top side, new tires now on the top side. As Delgado brings the 5 down pit road. And comparing lap times last time by, 0.6 of a second faster was David Hera over your race leader Lilith Peters. So the question is, with 7 cars left on the lead lap, Christensen going to blink and go down pit road. How much longer is the 16 going to stay out? That is going to be the deciding factor, as the gap is now 2.3 back to that man, Pat McQuaid, in the 77. And part of me has to wonder what type of point standings would we be looking at if Lilith Peters wasn't on a part-time schedule.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that same thing. It's she certainly would be giving these boys a
Here we go. Oop.
handful.
Well, that's not what you wanted to do, Pat.
He's trying to make up some time, and he's going to get a black flag for his efforts.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at entering the pit road here. As here he is coming down the pit road. Still way north, still way north. Oh, yeah. No, he's going to be held for a while.
Yeah.
He was 85 miles an hour when he clobbered the cone. So speeding and unsafe pit entry.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt for sure, as he's still sitting on pit road serving the penalty. I'm sure the guy behind the mask is probably not very happy with himself right now.
Probably not. As Cam Harris brings the 27 down pit side. The current race leader is that man in the 37. He's got the 20 right there with him. That is Charlie Dickey. And I'm sorry, that's not the 20 behind him. That's the 14 of Scott Leonard. As there is Lilith Peters and David Hara. That's your effective race lead right there. Yeah, Pat McQuaid got popped for a double whammy as he just got released from his box there. 1 minute and 25 seconds in the box.
Yeah, that's not going to help him. He's going to need lots of help from the old yellow flag, I believe.
Oh, he's going to need more than that. Because he's got 2 lap cars in front of him that are a lap better than he is right now. So he's going to need 3, 4. He's 4 laps down. 3 laps down, sorry.
Yeah, that, as they say, that's going to leave a mark.
Yes, it is. Had a good run going. Needed a good points night tonight. As this is probably some of the closest racing we've seen at the front of this piece. As Hara's got 6 lap older tires than Lilith Peters, but he's also got 6 laps less fuel than she does. As we are 26 laps to go, everybody that just came down pit road should be able to make it from here. As Hara giving Lilith Peters everything she can handle right now, and she's still pulling a gap on him.
Yeah, she's just such a dominating performance tonight by Lilith in the 16 tonight. It's just, you know, every time I see her win one, it's not a close one. When she wins, she puts a whooping on them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, she set quick time in hot laps, set quick time in qualifying, has the quick lap of the race, and has led the vast majority of the laps here tonight. $24 laps to go, and this field is pretty strung out, Damon. I dare say methadone clinic status right now.
Yeah, it's she's just putting on a clinic tonight.
Absolutely. As you know, we're gonna go on board with Lilith right now, as we do have a GoPro on her helmet, and this is what she's seeing. left side tires are right on those hash marks in the middle of the corners. Not really overdriving the car, just running some consistent fast laps, and she's not deviated from her marks much.
No, she's very consistent. That's one thing you can say. Even when we're at the road courses, she's so good at the road courses, and she's just so consistent. That's what these new cars. They like somebody who is consistent, who's gonna hit those same spots every time, and that's what Lilith does. And she does it at every track.
I think it was the first race I did with you guys that we were at a road course, and she just, stole everybody's lunch money and then ate and then drank their chocolate milk on them.
Yeah, that was the Roble, and she did win that race.
That was an impressive run there.
I was in the garage for bad brakes. So I hated I missed that. I did watch some of the broadcast as I was working on my brakes. So yeah, she put on a clinic for sure.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that there's pedals out there now that have force feedback in the pedals, so you can sense it'll start to vibrate the pedal when you have wheel spin or you're in lockup under braking or wheel spin under acceleration. It'll vibrate the pedal, and I'm thinking she might have a set of those pedals, because just the fact that she's able to go in so much deeper than everybody around her into the corners and get on the throttle more effectively. She has to have a set of those high-end pedals. Either that or she's an alien.
Well, they've been showing some stuff on the news this past week about some UFOs. I'm not saying that's the case, but
the joys of living south of the Mason-Dixon line. David Orfano has reeled in David Hara. Little David on David crime in the Camaros right now, as your top 5 are bow ties. Nate Christensen in the Toyota in 6th is your highest running non-bow tie car. And Tyrone Yo, your biggest blue oval, in 12th, 2 laps down. Laps to go as we follow this battle for second right now. Lorfano trying to figure out what he's got to do to get by Hera, and that is that's Pat McQuaid behind them, and McQuaid's just got to feel gutted right now.
yeah, he's having such a great night, and to be 2 laps down with the car that he's got, yeah, it's just it kills you. One of those times as a kid when you're playing football on Xbox and you want to throw your controller. This is one of those moments.
Yeah, pretty much. I call it a kicking puppies moment.
Yeah, there we go.
And anybody that knows me knows I'm an animal lover, and it takes a lot to get me into that situation. But am I seeing this gap properly? I just want to make sure my eyes are not deceiving me. It's an 8-second gap for Lilith Peters right now with 14 to go.
Yes, sir. You're not wrong.
Holy cow.
Taking these boys out to the woodshed.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Oh, man.
I mean, she is laying it to them tonight.
Yes, she absolutely is. As we are following what's going on, as Pat McQuaid gets one of his laps back from David Hara. Hara not really putting up a big struggle, as he does have a comfortable gap, about half a second between himself and David Lorfano in 3rd, And then you're over 4 seconds back to Charlie Dickey, who's in 4th right now. And the rest of this field just strung out. I mean, 4, 5, 6 seconds, 19, 20, 21 second gaps. So, green flag action is fun, but, you know, we end up in situations like this. Lorfano knows he's got 12 laps to get it done on Hera if he wants to get that next step on the podium. As it's going to be a big points night for Lorfano either way, as he should jump Pat McQuaid in points and should close in on Charlie Dickey, who coming into tonight was in 3rd in points. Dickey currently sits 4th on track, so it's going to give Hera a little bit of breathing room at the top of this piece. And considering that Cam Harris is being scored as the last car on the lead lap, Harris came into tonight as your points leader. Not really the night he was hoping for, though.
I think that caution coming out after that, you know, those green flag stops, it really sort of shook the field up a little bit. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's...
Ten laps to go. It'll be 9 at the stripe. Lilith Peters, 9 3/4 seconds, and something just happened with Robbie Fletcher. Let's take a look at what happened here. There is Fletcher.
Pancake the driver's side door on the backstretch.
Oh, he pancaked the passenger side door a few laps prior. Oh, yeah, that was a hard hit. It was it'll definitely make your eyes smart.
I would say he's going to be done for the night.
Safe bet. As we are back with this battle for 2nd place, Hera in the 15, the 8 of David Lorfano. And Hera's got to be thinking big picture right now.
Yeah, and I'd have to say the cars are pretty even. Both of them have a little wrinkle over the right front, so this is the Truckers Feed America Cup Series version. The boys have at it.
Absolutely. As the one girl in the field is whooping their ass collectively.
Yes, she is. Oh, as Hera gets in the wall there, Lorfano is going to jump all over that. He's going to try to go to the outside, and then he's going to dive inside on David Hera going into 3.
Full
it looks
send
like
it
he'll be
mode
able
for
to
the 8.
complete the pass there, as Hera's going to have some damage. He's going to try to get up front, but that's not going to work. He finally gets in front of David Hera and takes the 2nd spot.
And I got to commend Lorfano for what he just did. He did not go down on the apron and running the risk of unsettling that car. Stayed up on the racing surface and, you know, just through the block. And that kind of checked Hera up, as here comes Charlie Dickey on the inside of Hera as well. That checkup really cost the 15, as now he's outside of a podium spot with only 5 laps to go. Peters, Lorfano, Dickey, Hera, and Garnes, your top 5 right now. Christian and Cam Harris rounding out your lead lap cars. Harris in 7th. Christian Delgado, the first car 1 or more laps down, sitting in 8th. And the gap is 11.5 seconds from this lady in the 16, Lilith Peters, back to that man in the 8, David Lorfano.
Yeah, one thing that Lilith does not want to see right now is that thing that usually slows the cars down. I'm not going to mention it.
You
but
know,
it
that
brings
thing that
them
usually
back
gets the hate
together.
mail coming.
Yes. So I'm not going to say it, but that's what she doesn't want to see right now.
Absolutely not, as she has had just a dominating performance. And it looks like she may have taken her foot off the gas just a tick as the gap is starting to come down. Lorfano fighting with Dickey. Dickey steps back a little bit. 3 to go. Peters could probably step on the clutch and coast it home from here. But Lorfano is in a fight of his life right now as he has second. Charlie Dickey wants it. Popsicle sticks in the air. 3 miles to go.
And at this point, Lilith Peters just needs to continue hitting her marks. And, just taking her time.
Absolutely. You know, I'd actually like to see what she could do in the SRM AI late model series on Saturday nights. With the AI working through the field. Final lap, white flag in the air. Lorfano and Dickey side by side. But I would love to see what Lilith Peters could do against some of the best AI drivers as Lorfano bangs the wall in the middle of 1 and 2. That's going to let Dickey get the run down the American Ethanol back straightaway. Side by side going into 3. They almost touch.
Try to side draft a little bit as Charlie Dickey dives in. Dave Lorfano is going to get in the wall. That's going to give Dickey the momentum he needs to complete that pass. What a great run by Dickey.
As Lilith
Here
Peters
comes Lorfano
crosses for the
cross
win.
over.
Dickey coming home in second. Lorfano in third. Hara crosses in fourth. And there goes Larry Garnes in fifth. Nate Christian, Cam Harris rounding out your lead lap cars. But it is all about this young lady right now. Most dominating performance we have seen in quite a while.
She is going to burn it down.
And I can't say I blame her for doing that. 120 of 137 laps led here tonight.
Yeah, just an amazing performance by Lilith. And she really just took these boys to the woodshed.
Absolutely. As Damon, I believe you have the race winner with you now.
Hey Lilith, this is Damon and Tony in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you what, Lilith, you took these boys to the woodshed tonight. And it was just an impressive performance all the way through. Tell us a little bit about your race.
I mean, I was in front pretty much the whole thing, so I was lucky not to have to race with people pretty much. I know how bad this car gets in traffic, so I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, well, you did an absolutely amazing job, and as per usual with your wins, you leave nothing to question. So congratulations on your run tonight, and we were just talking during the broadcast. It's a good thing you're only running a part-time schedule. These guys would be in a fight right now for that championship. But who you want to thank tonight, Lilith?
Couple. This is my last race for Dominion Motorsports, and he's the one who let me race here in the first place, so I'm very glad to get him the first 3 wins. And I hope they go out for next season pretty good. I'd also like to thank the Bean Team. Primary sponsor in this car is Polio. I love the name of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody loves a little cornhole, and I think Holio Cornhole Boards is probably the best named cornhole boards out there. But congratulations tonight, Lilith, on your win, and we will talk to you next season if you're back with us.
See you guys next season. Thank you.
Lilith, do me a
night.
favor. Don't go anywhere after the broadcast, 'cause I do need to pick your brain for a second.
Okie doke.
So that was our race winner, Lilith Peters. And joining us now is the man who came home in second place to her, the 37 of Charlie Dickey. And Charlie, all things considered, pretty decent points tonight for the 37.
Yes, sir. We didn't get a good qualifying effort today and had a rough start, and we just tried to roll down there and stay clean and stay out of trouble, and had some pretty good luck, I guess.
Talk us through that last couple of laps with you and David Lorfano going door to door. How much fun was that?
Man, that was a blast. I love racing like that. You know, give each other plenty of room, but, race each other hard. Now, if that had been practice, I would have wrecked each other, but we seemed to not do that during the race. But it was a blast racing them. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we are going to be off next week for Memorial Day, but we will be back for the season finale at Phoenix. Your thoughts going into the D-shaped demon of the desert?
That's going to be kind of I keep saying that, but I feel like that'll be a tough track for me. I seem to struggle there when I race, so I just have to put a lot of practice in between now and then. Again, try to stay clean and see if I can be there at the end of the deal. I did want to congratulate Lilith again, though. She drove a heck of a race, and Lafano and David Harris as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations, Charlie, on your run tonight, and we will see you in a couple of weeks when we head to Phoenix.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys, and I'd like to thank my sponsor, G-Tech Cleaning Solutions and FMI Racing. See you guys.
Yeah, have a good one, Charlie.
So that was our second place finisher, Charlie Dickey. And why can I not find him? Come on.
Dave Lorfano?
Oh, there he is. And joining us now, the driver of the 8-ball, David Lorfano. Can't be too disappointed in the finish tonight.
No, not at all. I'll take the P3. We didn't really go as planned, At one point in that race, right there at the end, I was riding behind Hera, who was in second. Of course, he's a teammate of mine, and running for the championship. I was a little too far out to really get that championship this year. So the plan was I was just going to run behind him to give him those extra couple points. But I saw Dickey really coming there at the end, so I had to make a decision. And when Hera kind of scraped the wall, I made that decision to go at that point. It was just a little late. I couldn't hold Dickey off at the end, but a good race overall for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We go from here in Kansas to next week in 2 weeks to the desert of Phoenix for the season finale. Your thoughts going into that one?
I mean, I do like Phoenix. I like the shorter tracks, the flatter tracks. Phoenix kind of fits, my driving style a little bit better than a place like this. I hate tracks where you got to run the wall like here, Darlington, a few others. So it's just a challenge for me. I'm a bottom guy. Actually, the middle part of that race, I started running the bottom, and it actually did work. There's a little bit of speed down there, but no one was touching Lilith tonight. So congrats to her, and congrats to Dickey as well. I mean, from where he started with us in this league, he's come a long way. So to see him up here running second and competing for wins and podiums here, great finish for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But David, before we let you go celebrate the podium here tonight, who do you need to thank?
First and foremost, Lucky Dog Detailing, Holyoke Cornhole Boards and Bags, Hillbilly Motorsports with David Hare for bringing me on here, and you guys for broadcasting. So I think we got a week off, and then we wrap it up and determine a champion at Phoenix.
Yes, sir, and we will see you there.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
So that is going to about do it for us tonight. We're going to take a quick rundown of the finishing order. Lilith Peters, of course, dominating performance tonight. Charlie Dickey coming home in second. David Lorfano hanging on for third. Dave Hara in fourth. Larry Garnes rounding out your top five. Nate Christensen and Cam Harris rounding out your lead lap cars in seventh. Christian Delgado in eighth. First car 1 lap down. Damon?
Yeah, and coming home ninth after a very strong run tonight. Just had that issue on pit road. Patrick McQuaid coming home 2 laps down in ninth. Cole Martin in the 45 will finish in 10th place, 3 laps down. Jeremy Zorku Flanagan will finish 3 laps down in 11th. Tyrone Yo in that number 2 Ford Mustang finishes 4 laps down in 12th. Scott Leonard in 14 car finishes 13th tonight. Robbie Fletcher in the 71 will finish 14th. Adam Angerstein in the 9 will finish 15th. Justin Horton in the 39 will finish 16th. Johnny May in the 69, after that incident late, will finish in 17th. Jim Hubble in the 51 will finish 18th. And Peter Terriot comes home 19th tonight.
So that is going to do it for us from Kansas. Remember, we will be off next Monday, or next Tuesday, sorry. I'm off Monday and Tuesday. Please have a safe holiday weekend, and remember what Memorial Day is all about, folks. It's not just burgers and hot dogs on a day off of work. We have to give a hearty thank you to those men and women who wrote a check that was up to and including their life for the freedoms that we celebrate here in this country. So for Mr. Damon Lester, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, as you walk down the road of life this week, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.